And we're live.
Hello.
And your mic is on. Okay, cool. I forgot to check that. How's it going, everybody? This is Dylan and Leslie, and we are doing our weekly Thursday live stream. We got some cool stuff to talk about. I forgot one of the things that we were going to talk about was this thing. So that's happening. She always asks me, what are we talking about tonight? And a lot of times I have an answer, but tonight I didn't really have an answer. So yeah, so this is our live stream we do every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We answer your questions. We prioritize those that we have seen on Patreon and for YouTube members over on the posts that you know about. If you're there, we'll talk more about that in a minute. So I guess let's get started.
You should go ahead and tell the people what you're drinking because they're gonna ask.
Oh, I was trying to do one of those like Kermit the Frog, it's none of my business things.
We haven't even started talking about anything.
I guess we haven't.
What are you drinking?
Oh yeah, so Doc.
Yes.
Doc is the one that suggested.
I still had a leftover recommendation.
Yes. So a lot of times when people send us super chats, we use that money to buy various things like this to try and give you a review on live during the live stream. This is Glendronach 12. So, and Doc is the one that suggested this. It's pretty good. I'm not typically, is this a Highlands? What is it? It's not a Speyside. Yeah, it is a Highland. That's what I thought. It's sweet. And I'm not, this like leans more towards bourbon-y kind of notes, which I'm not typically a fan of, but I've been enjoying this bottle. And I let your dad try some. He really liked it. So it's really good. And it's not expensive. It's like, I think we paid like $48 for the 12 year. So
I don't remember.
I don't remember how much it was. There is not a link to this in the description.
Dave said that's his fave.
Because I need a liquor sponsor or like a affiliate program.
But it'd have to be really good because we're kind of bougie.
Yeah. So I do not want.
We would say no to some.
I was listening to Carrot Top was on Joe Rogan today, and apparently Carrot Top has a what's the drink that rednecks around here drink all the time? The Crown. He has a Crown thing. Yeah. No, I don't mean like that. I want like an online place where you can buy booze where we can have an affiliate program with them. That's really what I would like. So if you know anybody,
exist?
Yeah, I'm sure they do. I mean, you can get online everything. You can order a wife or guitars or tampons or anything online, and I'm sure there's an affiliate link for all of the above. Why isn't there booze?
That was really poor 3 examples.
I mean,
But okay.
Anyway. Yeah. So let's get into some questions. I have some questions tonight. I do have a few.
All right.
So these are ones that have come in from Patreon. Actually, before we get into the questions on Patreon.
Butch is here, by the way, so.
Oh, Butch.
Hey,
Butch. So we'll get to that in a minute. And Butch, do me a favor. Can you please, right now, put in the comments where you are physically and where we would ship this thing when it's done?
I mean, that's very personal.
I know, but like, if you would say, say like Eastern, Western, East, Southeast, 150 miles from something kind of general. Don't put your zip code on there, but something, say I'm.
He did say, look at that beautiful John.
He said, I'm an hour south of Indianapolis or something. You know what I mean? Something like that. Like, let me know where you are.
Dylan, have you tried Cavlan? Cavlan? I don't know.
We looked at that bottle last week, actually.
Did we?
Mm-hmm. But I bought this
Doc
instead.
is here. Doc missed the whole conversation about him, so your ears must have been burning.
Yep. Okay, so what we do is we have a Patreon. It's got a few different levels to it. I was just watching the Texas Toast thing, and they were talking about how they're gonna take input from their Patreon patrons for some of their video content. So I would like to do that too. So, we get hundreds of videos. I have people emailing me.
Hundreds of videos?
No, ideas for videos.
Oh.
People emailing me ideas for videos, and I'm sorry, I can't keep up with all that. So if you're on Patreon or if you're a YouTube member, please comment on the stuff that we post, video ideas, and that is where I will look for it. On Patreon and our YouTube members only posts. That would be great because it would narrow it down. And if you are not one or the other of those, you don't have to be both if you don't want to, please consider it because I could use your help with that. So, yeah.
Rico B says, nice Juan Cinco Telecaster.
Yeah, Juan Cinco. Give me 1 second. I don't like my exposure. Okay, go ahead. Let's do a question.
Okay.
Well, I take another hit of this.
BC Rich wants to know, why haven't more pickup manufacturers moved towards rechargeable power packs to use in their active systems and move away from the 9-volt battery door that breaks batteries that leak and all the other drawbacks with that system? Is it cost, or do active systems need that much power?
Well, part of it's going to be, has been in the past, cost, because a set of lithium cells and size and packaging. So as batteries get better, the packaging for the cells gets smaller and easier, and they can make it in a bunch of different shapes and all this kind of stuff, and it makes it easier. And the cost is obviously coming down. The life is getting better. All of those sorts of things. Do I think that all of these people are going to start putting lithium ion packs in their guitars?
That is where Butch is.
Okay. So, thank you, Butch. So, yes, I think that it's going to happen. Here's the deal. Every time we make a video and we talk about lithium ion packs and guitars, people lose their crap and get all old fashioned on me and are like, yeah, but I could just change a battery. Like, with, well, all of them that are doing it now. Who's doing it? Fluence is doing, Fishman is doing it. Fender's doing it with the higher end Acoustasonic. It's only going to last so many times and then you're going to have to blow. How are you going to replace it? It's not an issue. I mean, it can be, but the problem is, here's the thing. The current draw is so low on these new systems that the lithium ion cycles are so long. So what I mean by that is, if you have a 300 hour discharge rate, which is what I think Fishman says, something like ridiculous like that. So let's say it's 100 hours. Let's be conservative and say it's a 100-hour charge cycle. So from the time it's charged to the time it's empty is 100 hours. So you could play a guitar for 100 hours, which means when you plug in the jack, your guitar is now on. When you unplug the jack, it is now off, just like anything else. And you have 100 hours of battery life. Lithium ion can handle 400 to 500 of those cycles before it is dead. So charge up, discharge 500 times 500 hours. You do not play your guitar that much. End of story. You will not, it's no big deal.
Ivan says you can't get lithium ion rechargeable 9-volt batteries.
No, you cannot, because they don't fit in the packaging because of the way lithium ion cells are, 2.3 volts or 1.7 volts or something a piece, and they got to put a bunch of them together to get 9 volts. So it's, totally different thing. I'll tell you who will know about batteries a lot is Dastardly Dave, because he's RC car guy or RC airplane guy. Yeah. I've been learning a lot about lithium lately because I have a hankering for a lithium.
Hankering?
Yeah. I want to get an electric motorcycle.
Southern thing to say.
I mean, I live in the South now. So I'm thinking about an electric motorcycle, and we just bought a hybrid car, and I was really, really against it for many, many years. And now that I own one,
It's so
I wouldn't go back, man. It's so good. It's so good. 250 foot-pounds of torque off of 0. 50 something miles to the gallon. Never have to plug it in. Holy smokes, man. So cool. Anyway,
Are you ready for the next one?
let's do it.
Ivan. Can't think of anything. But how about some hints as to what new guitar is coming? Just hints. Hints.
I'll give you, okay, so the hint I would give you, it gets here tomorrow.
Oh, how did it disappear? Sorry. Gets here tomorrow?
Yeah.
There's one hint.
It gets here tomorrow.
Random.
I will shoot a video about it, and it will be the video for Monday.
Oh, that'd be fast. Like
Yeah.
public Monday or Patreon Monday?
Public Monday. Well, it has to be public Monday because some other
What's on
things.
your hand?
Sharpie, because I was doing some stuff and I accidentally Sharpied my thumb.
Sharpied. Is that a verb?
Yeah.
I Sharpied it.
So the hint would be I've never owned one before.
I think you don't talk about it much either.
Yeah, we'll just
It'll
leave
be
it.
a surprise.
Yeah, it'll be a surprise for sure. Yeah, it was a surprise for me. That's probably the other hint.
Surprise for me.
Yes, she was like, "Holy crap, you're getting one of those?" And in however you usually say stuff like that.
Oh yeah, because I talk just like that.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, those are the hints I'm going to give you. Next
is Aaron Herdman. I have a couple humbuckers I think I ruined trying to replace their covers. Presumably, I fried them with the soldering iron by holding it on the joints too long. Of course, this was before I found your channel and learned how to solder properly. What should I look at to figure out if they can be repaired?
So it depends what end of the humbucker we're talking about. I happen to have some right here. So if we're talking about down here at the end of the cable, just snip it off and restrip it. If we're talking about up here, I don't know why. Oh, let's see. You said doing it, taking the covers off. Okay, so it depends on the humbuckers that you have. Mine have 4 wires here and 4 wires here, so there's actually 4 solder joints in here. Yours might have 3 solder joints because you might just have 1 wire hooked up to this one, 1 wire hooked up to this one, and these 2 middle ones be hooked together. So you'll just have to go in there with an ohm meter and figure out, like on this one, the black and the white is one coil and the red and the green is another coil. And just make sure that those coils each work and then hook them up accordingly. That's what I would do. But you're going to need a multimeter, you know, like a proper multimeter, and like check each coil to make sure that they function. If the coils themselves don't function, then that could be an issue, but you usually can fix that kind of stuff. You just have to be really careful.
You want to hear some of the guesses so far before we move on?
Sure.
Reverend, Harley Benton, Kolos, Silver Sky SE. Somebody said thanks for the stat preview of the Silver Sky SE. That was news today.
Mm-hmm.
Is that today? Yesterday.
That news was yesterday.
New import PRS Silver Sky, BC Rich, Adine. It's so funny, like they are guessing things that would be shocking for you to announce.
They would be. All of those would probably be like so out of character for me, wouldn't they?
I feel like everybody that is given a guess must really watch you.
Yeah. Which
is cool. Anyway.
Yep.
So, hints, guesses, but no reveal.
Correct.
Saying.
Yep.
Brett, what do you love the most about having the apartment? And what do you miss the most about the RV?
Well, we still have an RV. So I don't miss not having an RV because we still have Uh, I do feel like we have been in one place for a long time.
Already, even though it's been crazy.
Yeah, even though it's been a month of insanity, I miss moving. I
Yeah,
do.
it's just now been a month. You do realize that, right?
Like yesterday was a month.
Tuesday.
Tuesday was a month. Oh, you mean that we were even in town?
Correct.
We've only been in town a month.
Correct.
Oh my God.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Holy crap, man.
That's why I'm tired.
That is why I'm tired. Wow. We've only been in Augusta a month. Man, we've done a lot in a month. Okay. So the other, that is insane. So that leads me to the thing that I love the most about it. I can get so much work done in so little time now. I mean, look at the way this video looks tonight, right? Like we're streaming 4K tonight, for the first time in 2.5 years.
Nick said, I bet you don't miss getting 8 miles to the gallon. It was 6.
It was 6, and no, we don't. I love the fact that if I get an order, we're making like 8 to 10 pickups a day right now. And that was getting to be an impossibility on the road, like in just absolute mess. And now you guys are going to see, I think Patreon has already seen. On Patreon and YouTube members have seen like just a quick shop tour of how this is all set up so that we can work. It is so much more productive and it's so much less stress. I was telling her this morning, doing an inventory order and being able to see all of my parts like in one spot and go, what do I need for strat pickups? What do I need for tele pickups? What do I need for, and do it in like 5 minutes and not double order stuff because you don't know where you put something. I mean, oh my gosh, we were getting it done and people were getting their pickups in a reasonable amount of time. But just the level of intensity to make that happen was way higher than I thought. And now I'm so chill. It's so great. Oh man, it's really, really great.
Somebody said we need a holiday. I agree.
We do need one. We tried to take one last week. Well, this week. We tried to take one this week, but the motorhome had a coolant leak, and then I took it to the shop, and of course, it stopped leaking. I don't know.
It was magic.
It was magic. But anyway, so now we can go on a trip. So yeah, you got some other questions in there?
Sure.
And also, if you throw a super chat in there, we stop what we're doing, we drop what we're doing, and talk to you.
We drop everything we're doing.
We drop it all. I don't drop my drink, but
I don't know that you've ever dropped a drink. That is no more airplanes while filming.
No more airplanes while
trains, airplanes, traffic.
Actually, today I was shooting a video for the other channel, and there was a shooting range in the background.
Sweet.
I had to wait.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, where I was. I told you where I went.
Yeah, and remember we've stopped there before, and it was like, what is happening right now?
Yeah,
like, should we be concerned?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where I went.
I forgot about that. Okay, so I do have some things that came in.
Okay, awesome.
Talk to your boss about holidays. That's really funny.
I know.
All right. So some people still had some comments about do you think the Silver Sky SE will be on the ballpark as the regular Silver Sky? And then somebody else said 12 months to limited release Silver Sky SE colors.
I hope so, because the SE colors are kind of ugly. I'm not going to lie. I want one because I just want to see how good it is. You know what I mean? But I also have heard that they're on back order for a long time already. And because $850 is a great price. What was the first part of that question?
The first one was about, do you think it'll be comparable?
No, I think it's going to be different, but it's supposed to be. I think, I don't know. I swear I want to do, well, I've already talked to Aaron Short from Aaron Short Music today about doing a joint live stream and talking about this guitar. So probably the end of next week, I would say we're going to get together and do a live stream together. Probably. We'd have to work out the schedule and stuff. But in thinking about doing a live stream with him, I was thinking about it and doing the news yesterday and seeing all the comments on the video on the news yesterday. And people are like, that guitar's too expensive. It's a cheap blah, 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 blah. It's not going to be the same. Oh, it's going to be better. It's going to whatever. Here's the thing. Cheap guitars are not better than expensive guitars. Cheap guitars are not good as expensive guitars. You can tell yourself all you want, but a Squier is not as good as a custom shop Strat, and it's not as good as an American Standard Strat. End of story, period. Same thing with the SE stuff. Yes, they are good guitars, but they are not as good as the core stuff. End of story, period. They have built them that way on purpose. You can tell yourself that they're good to justify how you feel about spending money, etc., but they're not as good. The end. If they were as good, they would cost as much. End of story. And they wouldn't market them in these different tiers and stuff. Super chat.
Interrupt you. Just Drive Sheboygan Falls. Thank you for the super chat, Alex. So, what do you recommend for a speaker for my 64 Blackface Deluxe?
Jensen.
That's funny. So he had sent in the question earlier and he was like, Jensen, Alessandro, something else. And you just went straight Jensen before I even had to say that.
And Alessandro is really, so I used to have, what was that amp I had? That brown face. It was 210s.
Why is that so little? Is that because you changed the ratio?
I don't know.
Did you see it?
I did see it. We can stretch it though next time.
Okay.
Oh,
like now?
Yeah, like now. Put them up there.
Oh, I don't know where it went. It says oh, there it is.
Put it up there, and then I think you should be able to
resize it.
Yeah, there you go.
Can I move it?
Yeah. You can just click it around.
Boom. Okay. Wait, I have to do the sound. All right. Thank you for the super chat, Doc.
Thanks, Doc.
How about a blind sound test? SE versus full fat Silver Sky.
See, if you could have both guitars in one place, I think that would be the thing to do. If you could have both guitars in one place, I think the other thing you could also do is do a Mexican Strat against the SE, as well as do an American Standard Strat or something really nice against the Silver Sky, which has been done millions of times. But I think, first of all, I'm pretty sure, because I was doing a bunch of reading about this stuff, so I'm pretty sure the new Silver Sky has different pickups than the old one. Like, they've changed some stuff. The guitars are evolving, right? So, but what I really think is this 849 guitar is going to be a great competition to the American Player or the Mexican Player Stratocaster, and I think it's going to be better because the pickups in the Mexican Player Strat are terrible. They just are. So if you're a person who's not going to mod your guitar, get a Silver Sky SE. If you're a person who's going to mod your guitar and buy our pickups and put it in it, get a Strat. This whole thing about I'd rather have a real Strat. What is a real Strat? I mean, really, when it comes down to it. Because except for an American Standard Strat, which there isn't any such thing anymore. So let's just talk about this for a second. There is no American Standard Strat anymore. The American Original is pretty close, but it's $2,000. There's no American Standard Tele anymore. It's pretty close, American Original, but it's $2,000. The American Player Plus and Player stuff, the American, no, Ultra, whatever it is, American Ultra, has the stupid bridge. There is no real Tele or Strat anymore for the normal person. The closest you can get is probably a Ventera 60s from Mexico or an American Original for $2,000. So when you look at those things and you say properly good spec Strat or Tele, Strat, let's say Strat because we're talking about Silver Skies, the $2,000 American Original is pretty dang good. So we'll put that against the Silver Sky. That's just whether you like one or the other. And then you take the Ventera 60s and you put it against the SE. It's going to be a feel thing. It's going to be a choice thing. And for everybody who says, I don't know why they copied, what about everybody else who copied a Strat? Nobody ever gave anybody else any crap for copying a Strat. Sir, Anderson, Ibanez, Kramer, anybody who made a double cut shape over the last 60 years never got any crap for copying a Strat. Now PRS comes along and does it. Oh man, don't even get me started. I think it's the dumbest thing ever. I think the reason people do is because it has a 3x3 peg head. And you know what? If I was going to build a Strat right now, I'd put a 3x3 on it just to piss people off because it doesn't make any difference. That's a whole soapbox. You could get me going. You could get me going about this forever because people make such a big deal out of it, and it's just a freaking guitar, and everybody else makes a Strat copy, and they don't get crap for it. Okay, next question.
Dave is here, by the way. He hasn't been here in a while.
Oh yeah, he was away for holidays and stuff. He actually texted me the other night in relation to this guitar, which we'll get to in just a minute. Yeah.
Your dangerous brother was trying to rat you out for another reason, but we won't talk about that.
Yeah.
You want another question?
Yeah.
All right. Daniel C says, I just found my first ever electric guitar hiding in my parents' closet. A 2002 Dean Playmate. I just cleaned it up and put a set of EMG 8160 in it, and I love it. Am I wasting my money using them on it?
No. I'm actually going to shoot a video about this coming up very soon about why nobody should ever sell their first guitar and why no matter what anybody says,
it might be too late for some people.
No matter what anybody says on the internet, you can modify that guitar. In fact, we're going to talk about that. Let's talk about that right now. Okay. Because this guitar right here, it's relevant. So let's really dive into that question. Should you modify a cheap guitar or your first guitar or whatever? This is a cheap guitar. I don't even know how much these are, but they're about
faces in his guitar.
$500 or something, less than that maybe. This is a Squire, but this is a John 5 Squire. And this is not just a John 5 Squire. This is Butch Davidson's John 5 Squire, who's in the comments right now.
Not ours. So that was a question. Did we just get it from like Washington or something? No. This is not ours.
No, this is Butch Davidson's John 5 Squire. And more specifically, this is his late brother's John 5 Squire. And he, I believe, after a fashion, maybe from his mom or something, inherited this guitar. And then he's in the military. He got deployed and he came back and someone had completely stolen all of the parts out of it. So we were talking, he was talking about it. He was actually asking what pickups should I put in it, right? Or something in a stream a couple of weeks ago. Yeah. And so he was telling the story in the comments because he was like, hey, I need a new set of pickups. Which one should I order? And one of the other viewers, I'm just going to call him out because he did it publicly last time. Doc is here. Said, you know what? If you'll do the work, I'll pay to have it done. So originally I was going to just get all the parts together, build him a set of pickups, and send him all the parts so he could put his guitar together. But right about that same time is when we decided to come off the road.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, well, now I have an address that I can ship stuff to. So I had him ship me what he sent me. And you'll see it when the video comes out because we shot the whole process. But I just want to talk about this because this is so cool. He sent me this beat up body that was not this shiny, this neck, and the frets were like so tarnished you couldn't even play the thing. And it was just a body and a neck in a box. That was it. Nothing else. No pick guard, no anything. Everything was all stripped off of it, except for the tuners were on there. So we made a set of pickups for it. And Doc, you've been asking me for Alnico 8 pickups for like a year.
Surprise!
They're in this guitar. And let me tell you, they are really, really good. So Butch Davidson gets the first of our set of Alnico 8 pickups that I haven't even named yet, but I will name by the time the video comes out and put it on the channel or put it on the website. So we got the pick guard. The pick guard is not the right pick guard for this guitar because I think they cut it differently for the John 5 one, but it's acceptable. We got a Clusen bridge for it. I had to order a blank control plate because John 5 only has 2 volumes with no switch, and then I just drilled it myself. Polished her all up.
Oh.
We did, we banged on it on the table. We used our fret polishing kit and polished all the frets up. I did a full setup on it today. This guitar it's a ripper. Now, the reason I'm bringing it up right now, I wanted to talk about this tonight and let everybody know where it was in the process because we said we were going to do it a few weeks ago. So it's almost done. Well, it is basically done.
So what makes this a John 5? Because somebody said if that telly was gold, it would be a John 5.
John 5 tellies came in 2 colors, black and gold. And this is a black one. But yes, they came in 2 colors. The black ones are a lot.
What was that?
I don't know.
Mystery sound.
The black ones are a lot harder to find than the gold ones.
Oh, really?
Yeah, even to look at pictures and to make sure I was getting the right parts and stuff. It was very difficult to do.
Is the hardware gold on the gold one? Or you just mean it's like a
the
gold
hardware
paint body?
is gold on the gold one,
Cool.
and it's gold. And
I'm glad you got a
yes.
black one, Butch.
Anyway, the reason I'm bringing it up right now, number one, is because this is a cheap guitar, but it doesn't matter. This was a lot of work, but it doesn't matter because of what it means to Butch and his family. Mm-hmm. His mom, it belonged to his late brother, like the whole story. What this guitar means matters. That red Strat up there, it's not worth a whole lot of money, but that's my first Strat. It's what it means to me. This guitar is what it means to Butch and his family. You could spend $1,000. You could spend $2,000 on this guitar and nobody would care. Well, everybody on the internet would think you're stupid, but it wouldn't matter because it matters to you. And I think I'm going to make like some kind of, I think I'm going to make a t-shirt and haven't decided yet, but it's going to be like, I play what I want or something. Because I've been thinking a lot about that lately. Like, I do what I want. Like, I play what I want because I want it, because I enjoy it. It doesn't matter what the internet says. This is the prime example of it. The other reason I wanted to talk about it right now is because I wanted to thank Doc for stepping up and offering. And I'll get with you in the next couple of days, Doc. This has been a really fun project. I'm going to tell the rest of the story because that's not the whole story, but in the video when it comes out. So if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe and watch this. It's really cool. And the other thing I'm going to tell you is it might be a couple of weeks because we're going to have to schedule it. but I'm going to bring it to you. That's why we were trying to figure out where you were. And 8 hours is not long enough, not too far to just take a long weekend and bring it to them. So,
I like red chips.
Yeah. And we have this new motorhome that we haven't even used yet. So, probably we'll get with you on this, but I mean, I could ship it out like in 2 days and you would have it already, but I think it would be more fun.
Oh, we're a little delayed. If you need me to buy a case to send it back, let me know.
Yeah. So when it gets to that part,
When it catches up.
when he catches up, we're gonna bring it to you. So we will work on the details of that, but I just we have to. I don't know. We don't get to do this kind of stuff very often, and I don't do it very often. I don't do repairs. I don't let people send me guitars to repair. We get people ask us all the time. But this was such a cool story, and then Doc was saying something about it, and I was just like, that's what we're going to do.
Travis McCartney had a t-shirt idea. He said, line through, play authentic, and write, play what you want.
Dude.
No.
The end.
Aw.
That is amazing.
Butch said, you are so great. I would rather have your company anyway.
Yeah, we'll bring it up there.
People are like, this is awesome. Real feels.
Yeah, we'll bring it up there. Why not? I mean, we have the opportunity to do it. We have the means to do it now.
Oh, look at there. We have a huge farm. You can park that camper right in the middle of the field and have all the commodities you need.
Excellent. All right, Butch. We'll get with you in the next. Just shoot me an email again when you get a second.
Another idea. T-shirt. I play mine. You play yours.
That's real good too. Yeah, man. This has been a really fun story. So I'm glad to be a part of it.
To be continued.
To be continued. Yeah. Let's go for some more questions.
Sure. Kabayoth. Do these Alnico 8 pickups differ from the 8-ball pickups you sell?
Absolutely. Big time. Yeah, big time. Way different. I like them better.
Ooh.
I like them better.
Is that it? You're just going to say way different? Like, what's different?
The video's coming.
Oh, okay.
The video's
say
coming.
that. I feel like you left me hanging.
I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. The video's coming. They are really good. They're cleaner. I don't know. I like them better. I do. They're cleaner. They don't break up as much, but they're still very articulate. They're they're not as high, not as much clarity and highs as I normally have in a lot of my stuff. It's still there. Otherwise I wouldn't make it. But these are smoother on top, and they're a stronger mid-range too, and they're just I don't know. You'll see when you.
So Windsurf Maui says, how do you mellow Alnico 8 pickups so they don't sound harsh? Lower winds?
So on these ones I went with a thinner gauge wire because of that. Yeah. If we were to say take our DAFs and put Alnico 8s in them, you're right, they'd get super harsh on top. So to soften that, we went with a 43 gauge wire and a little bit higher wind count. I think these are somewhere in the range of 12.5K, which is a lot of wire for what we do typically. But the Alnico 8s retain a lot of that clarity, so they give it back that mid-range and a little bit of crispness on top. It's a really balanced pickup with a lot of power. And like my little 20-watt Marshall, it breaks it up right away. You have to turn the master down for it to be clean. Like, It's good. You're gonna like them. They're really cool.
Josh Carter said, I just ordered one of your tele wiring kits today. Just wondering, does it come with the wiring diagram?
Um, it does not really. We just mark where you hook up your pickups because the thing about our wiring kits is it's all done. When you get it, the only thing you're going to have to solder on is the hot leads for your pickups, which we mark with a Sharpie, and the grounds to the backs of the pods. That's it. Everything else is done. It's fully assembled. Output jack and all. Super chat.
So Brett Johnson is celebrating 13 months of membership.
Ah, cool.
How do you mock up different pickup designs? Do you wind different sets and just keep notes? For example, how many tries on the new Alnico 8s?
To be totally honest with you, one. I
Because his brain never stops.
Yeah, so I do have a notebook with a bunch of numbers in it. I do keep track of everything. And at this point, I am kind of to the point where, and this is not a, I've been doing this so long. It's not that. It's literally, if you were to chart out all the wines that I've tried, it would take up like a graph paper, like a spreadsheet, and you could plot in there pretty much everything that we've tried. And it's more about, okay, I know what this sounds like. So now all I have to do is move it a little bit this way and a little bit this way. And I'll get pretty close, I think. So it's not about knowledge or experience as much as it is just I've tried so much stuff, and you just keep track of it all. And you can kind of know where to aim. Like if I want to go a little bit this way or a little bit this way. We do stuff for other builders too. Like, I did a bunch of stuff where we designed some pickups for another guitar builder a few months ago. And it was one of those things where I looked at what he had. I knew with the materials that we had where I sort of leaned and then just adjusted a little bit and hit it the first time. Sometimes you don't hit it the first time. I can think of one set we did for him where the neck pickup wasn't quite right, so I had to tweak it a little bit, like 300 or 400 wines or something. But most of the time, here's the other fun part. I don't care. I don't care what anybody else makes. I do not know. This is something you may not know. I do not know specs of other manufacturers on purpose. I do not spec read. Like, I could not tell you the specs of Lawler's P90s. I could not tell you the specs of, now Gibson and Fender I can, because I use those as references. But I do not read, I don't know what quarter pounders are like. I do not know what DiMarzio, blah, 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 blah. I have no idea what they are. What I do is I know what I want it to sound like. I have this chart of all the things that I've done, and I just kind of like hit a mark on my own chart, like use my own references. Because if I try to make it sound like somebody else, then somebody's just going to be like, well, you tried to do it and it didn't sound like that. Well,
maybe you don't play like that.
Maybe you don't play like that. Maybe you don't have that same amp. Maybe you don't, whatever. So I'm just like, I'll make this pickup, and if it sounds good and did what I wanted it to do, then it's a hit. If I made those pickups and I was like, these are really muddy, I don't like this, then I would have taken them back out and thrown them away and started over. But I didn't, and it worked. Lucky maybe, but more about just, again, where on that thing. My approach is a little different, though. I know a lot of other people do look at a lot of other people's specs, and they. So that's a good question, though.
Did you have a topic for tonight, or have we talked about it?
No, it was mainly that guitar
Okay.
thing.
Well, you're
Yeah.
21 questions behind, so
Oh, dang.
you're gonna have to talk less.
Okay. And people are gonna have to use super
Oh,
chats
like that to get to
to
us.
get it, because we're gonna have a lot of questions in.
Yeah. Thank you, Van Shank Guitars, for the super chat. I got parts to wind my first humbuckers. Any do's and don'ts that come to mind?
Not really. Not really. Just do it. Everybody does it a little different, so I'm not going to just tell somebody how they should do it. I mean, that's the whole thing. This is all. Everybody's doing a little different. Okay, next.
All right. EBA 95. Hello. I was wondering if you know any humbuckers that sound more open. I recently bought a new guitar and the neck pickup sounds muddy.
Yeah. Go to our website and look at DAFs or center punches. DylanTalksTone.com, center punches or DAFs. Way more open, super articulate.
New gun guy. Rhett S said that Fender should put on basses same pickups Jamerson had on his, because basses always upgrade to EMGs or Bartolini's or other. Can you talk about bass pickups tone in general?
Well, I'm not an active bass pickup guy. I'm not an active anything pickup guy. I have done, and I'm about to do another active set actually for basses. I think the biggest thing with bass stuff is they want a controllable, what's the easiest way to say it? They want a controllable attack. And El Nico pickups sometimes can be too sharp on the front end. So you got to soften that a little bit. So they can actually control how much attack there is on the front of the note with their fingers, or if they use a pick, if they're not really a bass player. But that's kind of the thing, and so that's what you're trying to do with that. And active pickups, they have parametric EQs, they have so much more control and cuts and pushes that you don't have with passive. So I think it just gives you more control. I think that's why they go that way.
Viking Senso, thanks for the super chat. I
Thank you.
don't see a question attached to that, so if you had a question, I'll look out for it.
Awesome.
All right. So Pedro Mota, Dylan, I'm about to finish my first guitar built from scratch.
Sweet.
It's a Super Strat type without a pick guard. How can I ground the 5-way switch? Thanks, and hi from Brazil. Really appreciate your work.
Don't ground your switch. Just hook up your switch to the pickups like they're supposed to be, and don't worry about grounding your switch.
Guitar Life, can you make a mini humbucker sound like a PAF or close to it? Thanks.
No, because the dimensions of the coils are so different that it'll never really get there.
Charles Wallace, maybe this was to me. Was the coolant running out, or was it just low and there is no sign of an external leak?
There was an external leak, but now it's gone. I'm not sure if it might have actually been an overflow situation because it was brand new. They might have overfilled it. I'm not sure, but it's not leaking now.
John Howe, have you experimented with lowering the Gauss rating on 8/ceramics? I assume yes, but...
So, you don't lower gauss on ceramics because they come pre-goused and most of the time, and since it's like a synthetic magnet, really, more or less, this is kind of a dumb way of saying it, but they are. You don't really adjust the gauss on that. And I don't feel that there's a need to lower gauss on 8s because that's what 5s are for. I've played with that. So I have not played with it on 8s. I've played with it on 5s. And it's really hard to do, actually. Magnets magnetize or gauze up much faster than you think. Like if you're passing them between two magnets, and it's a lot harder to do than you think, and it's hard to control. So changing magnet types is more effective and more consistent in the end product.
So I'm going to put this question up. This is Viking Senso, who sent in that super chat earlier.
Oh, sweet.
Looking for a set of...
HH.
What does that mean?
2 humbuckers. Okay.
Oh, HH pickups for a GNL Tribute Telly. Something like the Slash Alnico 2 Pros. Want to try something new and different. They run about 8.3K. What you got?
Our DAFs. If anybody ever wants to sound like Slash and wants to try our stuff, I always push them to the DAFs. They are not Alnico 2s. They're 5s, but they're more articulate than a 2, and they're right in there output-wise. You will really like them.
So what did you say to anger all the bass players? They're like, so Carol K wasn't a bass player because she used a pick, and somebody else said you did not just say you're not a real bassist if you use a pick.
It's kind of a universal joke.
So
you tease
being...
your bass player if he uses a pick. I actually think it's really cool. Who uses a pick?
Apparently Carol K. I
like
don't know who that is.
A lot of rock bassists do too. Scott does. All of our Scott friends that are bass players, all of them, yes, they all use picks.
Anyway, so he was trying to be funny and failed.
I was trying to be funny in passing, and people are too sensitive. No, it was funny. Just unless you're a bass player.
Well, Brett Johnson didn't think it was funny. We know he plays bass.
We do.
Mr. Goat just said bass players don't use picks. I'm just going to say it. I was literally thinking as I read through these 500 comments tonight, I was like, where's Mr. Goat? He's missing all the fun. Paul McCartney, Brett says.
Yeah. Geddy Lee.
Yep. Oh, I forget.
Dave Ellefson.
Something over there.
Yeah, no, a lot of them do. It's just funny. Anyway.
All right. Rico B. Dylan. Yes. I have a Les Paul with a broken split shaft pot. It had PCB. Can I replace just the PCB pot? Advice. Thank you.
You can, but it's really hard to do. If I was you in your shoes in that situation, I would call up a Jersey Shore Guitar Garage and have him just make you a harness. Probably cost you like $60, and it would all drop in, super easy, couple of solder joints, and you'd be done.
Look at Doug's all cap response. You know he loves
Dave
Kansas.
Ho from Kansas. Oh yeah, because he's a Kansas fan, big time.
Yeah. So then there was some talk about. Were you finished? I apologize.
Yeah. No, that's it. JerseyShoreGuitarGarage.com. That'll fix you.
There was. Oh, I hope I'm not moving your desk. How do I stop that? That is the level we're at.
It's good. Yeah. We're
not
good.
Bad.
Yeah.
The desk just moves away from us. Maybe that's our out. Who needs transitions? Okay, anyway. Dastardly Dave said, name your pickups Docs V8s.
Yeah, I was trying to figure it out. I don't know.
Somebody else had another idea. I think it might have been Dave again. Hang on. What else? I'm just scrolling through. We're way behind y'all. Super 8s. That's what somebody else said.
Oh, yeah.
I even said that. All right. All right. Jim Cunningham has asked this question a couple times. Will copper tape work to build a Faraday cage for a single coil pickup?
Yeah, but you got to be really careful to use it. So here's what you do. Tape it first with regular pickup tape. Then put the copper foil around the pickup. But then, here's the thing, you have to ground it. So you actually have to, so the way I do it, because I have done this for certain things. So when you put your wire through, you know, when you build a single coil, you actually put the wire tips in this way, and then you stick the wire through so it comes out the bottom. So what you'll do with that wire is you'll go up this way and you'll have to have a long tail that sticks out and carefully solder it to the side of the coil without doing damage to the coil. Here's what I'm going to tell you. Stevie Ray used to do it to cut down noise in his guitar, but he also used a dummy coil in his guitar. It was just a P-bass bobbin. But his pickups have no highs in them at all. Like I know that I like go off about eddy currents and stuff and how most of the time it doesn't matter. But if you put copper around the outside of your Fender style coil, it will cut out highs and you will have a flatter sounding pickup. Stevie Ray's pickups actually sound terrible when normal people play them. That's why So personally, I wouldn't do it.
Mr. Goat, thank you for the super chat. He said, doing laundry and listening. Had a full-time job change beginning of the year. More time for guitars. What are position 2 and 4 on a Strat for, and why?
Because that's what Strats are really supposed to sound like. Position 4, second one from the top. To me, that's my favorite one. I use the neck and position 4. That's it. That's all I use on a Strat. Because that's what Stevie Ray sounds like.
So that's why. That's all the reason.
But I can't use his pickups because I sound terrible. I will tell you this. I have played Stevie Ray's pickups before. Like legit ones. I sound terrible when I play them. That's how much different they are with that copper stuff around the outside.
It's probably because you used a pick.
Probably.
Name the new pickups octas. I don't even know what that is. It's an octa.
It means 8.
I know it means octa. Just OCT means 8. Yeah. How come it's the 10th month of the year if it means 8? Anyway.
I don't know. That's a good question.
And sept is like 9 and it's 7, right?
Yeah. Oh, weird. There's got to be a reason. We must be off by a couple months for something.
Are we using the wrong calendar?
I just don't care.
Anyway. Just kidding. We have another super chat.
Oh, sweet. Thanks, Nick.
Thanks for the super chat, Nick. Do you have a sound sample of your T90 somewhere? I'm tempted to get one for my upcoming Esquire build.
Oh, man. Everybody keeps asking me for that. I thought I did. I thought we did one. But I could be wrong about that. They're really good.
Mr. Goat says octones. No sound sample?
No. You know, actually, I had actually intended to make a set and put them in this telly and do one before we sold it. And I forgot. And now it's sold. And I'm not going to take it back apart again. So I guess I'll have to just get another telly and we'll do it. Oh, actually, I have another telly. Yeah, it's coming.
Is it in a video somewhere or anything that you think about?
Not really. I can't think of one.
All right.
But I am building another telly, and we'll put a set in that, and we'll do it then.
All right.
Oh, there it is. Thanks, Kyle. The Romans added July, named after Julius Caesar, and August for Augustus Caesar. So we are 2 months off.
Oh, and Jason Albert said it too. The months are off because of the Caesars.
Well, there you go.
Because the Roman emperors added 2 months to the calendar, Brett Johnson.
Yep.
So everybody knew but us.
Positions 2 and 4 are not out of phase. Otherwise, they'd like be, I sound like this. But they're not. They're not out of phase. They're just the way they are positioned in the guitar. That's a common misconception. Positions 2 and 4 on a Strat, when wired properly, are not out of phase. Cool. Thanks for the history lesson, y'all.
Right? I was just amazed at how thorough everybody is.
Yeah.
David O'Brien, what is the black Telecaster with humbuckers that appeared in the link to this video? You are holding the guitar in the image. It looks awesome.
Yes. After this stream is over, you can go back to some point in the video, and we go in depth in what that is. And there is also a video coming out. It's probably going to be a week or two now. I've got some other stuff that came up, but probably a week or two, full video about it, pickups in it, the whole story, super cool story. And there's going to be more about that guitar coming up too. So, but if we fully explained it about 15 minutes ago.
Kyle Lowry, any recommendations for Jazzmaster bridges that are cheaper than Mastery or Stay Trim bridges?
First of all, I'd never put a master bridge in my guitar ever. I think they're dumb. I would properly set up a stock one. And when I say properly set up, I mean don't lock it down. Let it wiggle back and forth. Shim the neck so that you have more angle on it. So put a couple of pieces of Coke bottle box underneath your neck and get some neck angle in that thing. It won't kill your tone. Just put some in there. Don't over tighten it when you shim it so you don't get the little hump at the end. Just do it properly. And then set the bridge up so that those little pointy bolts come out of the bottom, and let that thing pivot back and forth and move when you play the guitar. And then you should be fine. And unless you're really, which is not what that thing's for, it's not a Floyd Rose, right? Then it should work. Yeah. I wouldn't use, I don't like those bridges, those fancy bridges. And here's the reason. You cannot tell me that you can properly intonate a guitar. I mean, people's minds get blown. I don't like vintage saddles on a Tele because they're two at the same time and it's never perfect intonation. Well, then why do you put 3 on one saddle? That's the dumbest thing ever. I did it once on a custom guitar and I hated every minute of it. And it's just, I don't like them. Just set it up properly and it'll be fine.
I answered that one. I didn't answer it. I asked it. David Lopez, P90 Tele position. I want to add one P90 pickup to one of my guitars. Any thoughts on a P90 on a Tele? Which position?
Neck, for sure. Neck position, P90, flat 6 Tele bridge from us in the bridge. That thing will rock. 4-way switch, ooh.
Another question from David Lopez. What are your favorite pickups to make or play with?
Strat and Tele stuff is the easiest to make. I could just sit here and make them all day. But for me, my favorite pickup is the P90 and that Gibson right there. That is the thing for me. If I only could have one guitar, that would be it. Fortunately, that's not the case.
Nub Fub. In a custom hum single hum guitar, can I make the middle pickup hum canceled like in a single Strat?
If you wire the humbuckers to wire with no coil splits, theoretically you can do that, yes.
That Philosopher wants to know, YouTube algorithm question, which is better? Patreon watching your videos early or watching it when it premieres?
Probably watching it when it premieres. Probably.
John Howe, Samick JTR Rose RS10 Tele-ish opinions.
I don't know what that is. It feels like I should know, but I shouldn't. I don't. What is it? Samick?
JTR Rose.
Yeah, I don't know what this is. I know what Samick is, but I only know them in the Oh, that is sweet. Yeah, Tele, for sure. Check it out. It's a weird shape, but
that's pretty. I like the pick
I like
guard
it too. It's like
swoop.
It's like a Rickenbacker kind of shape / Stratty kind of. Dude, that's cool.
I like that.
Yeah, I would totally play that and own that and mod that. Yeah, Tele pickups. Yep. That's sick.
That is cool.
I've never seen one of those.
Corey Forgrave, where did you find the volume tone switch plate with no switch?
Philadelphia Luthier.
And it was blank.
And it
He
was
made
blank. I had to drill the holes.
yeah. Doug Santaniello, can you do a tele pick guard with no pre-drilled screw holes?
Yes. Like a 50s kind, yes.
Caveat. Would these Alnico 8 pickups compare to your Quattro pickups? Different voice, but high output?
Way less. So after all that about not comparing to other pickups, a cleaner super distortion. That's where I would go with those. Super chat.
Thanks for the super chat,
Thanks,
Sean
Sean.
McMillan. I always enjoy your videos. I especially appreciate your clarity and no BS attitude. Please follow up with me on the Reverend P90 project I emailed you about.
I thought I did, because that's so cool. Or maybe I messaged you on Patreon or somewhere. I thought I did, because I'll tell you a story. That's the first Reverend I ever played, was a 390 Jet. It was John Bollinger's, and I put pickups in it for him, and it was amazing. Yeah. There's still, yeah. Got another one. Thanks, Sean, for the super chat, and I will.
Travis McCartney, thank you for the super chat. My 40th birthday is this year, and I'd like to get a birth year guitar that won't be stupid expensive, but is still a good guitar. Any suggestions?
What's 40th birth year?
If it's this year, he had to be born in 82.
2022? So 82. Ooh, that's going to be tough. So those years are starting to get expensive when you're looking at American stuff. They actually made some really good Les Pauls in that year. They started making like an R9 kind of thing and like the 57 gold top kind of stuff again, because that's what Jason Sabos is an 82. And it's my favorite Les Paul ever on the planet. I'd look at Strats. They're going to be heavy. They're going to have a lot of paint on them, because they're probably going to be that poly. Like this is an 85 and it's got some thick paint on it. But I think it's cool. If you're looking for not tons and tons of money, Epiphones are really good then. If you get a good one, like the Kalamazoo ones. Oh, did they make them in Kalamazoo? Japanese Stratocasters. So Fujigen, that's a Fujigen Stratocaster. Fantastic. Japanese one. Let's see, what else? I don't know. Though that's where I would go. I would go Japanese Strat. I would go American Strat from that time period, even though I know a lot of people don't think they're great. They are very good guitars, and I think they're gonna continue to appreciate in value. So yeah. One.
So if anybody else has suggested for
Put
Travis,
it in a comment.
1982.
If anybody's got a 1982 guitar for sale, let him know. He might want it.
He might want it. All right. So Vox Guitars Rock, this isn't a question. He just said, shout out to you guys for a great channel. I've asked Phil McKnight questions on his labs for 3 years and never got a response. And Fat Philosopher said, I've never had Phil answer a question either. He only talks to Grumpy Mike or I'm not old, I'm vintage.
So, to be fair, so a couple things. One is, yes, it's getting busy enough around here where you kind of have to use a super chat or ask your questions on Patreon. We are getting to that point. To be fair, Phil's live streams are like, the thing is going so fast. I couldn't do it either. This is why I have her. because I couldn't do
This
all
is
of.
why you
This
have
is
me.
why you're here. No,
Aw.
I mean, this is why I need her, because I can't do it all. Like, there's no way I would be able to, even now, keep up with stuff.
Somebody earlier said, "Who was that on your left?" And I was like, "There's nobody on your left." But then I
I
just
guess on the
forgot about
camera,
it. Maybe.
yeah, maybe.
Anyway, they must be new here.
They must be doing it. Yeah. Anyway.
All right. Corey. Oh, let's do this one. Kevin Carrick. Where did the $849 price quote come from on that SE thing? From the news, I'm assuming.
I'd tell you, but I'd have to kill you. Just go with that for now.
Wow.
Yep.
That sounds awesome. Corey Forgrave. What are the 4 position options on the telly you suggested for the T90 in the neck?
So it would give you a serial position. So your normal 3 strat positions and then a serial position. That video is going to be done before this strat goes away. Tomorrow I am putting a 4-way switch in that guitar because the owner is actually going to get that with that. And I'm going to demo our 4-way switch in this telly, and you're going to see it, and we're going to add it to the website, and it's going to be awesome.
Rico B. Good evening from Arizona. I have we already answered that. He must have asked
Arizona.
it twice. Yeah, he was trying to have a pint with you in Flagstaff. So you must talk about Flagstaff to the point that he thought you were in Flagstaff.
Keep watching. There's a possibility that is possible in June.
Brilliant.
June. On the way back.
This trip just gets longer and longer.
Well, I mean, we have to come back. So.
Lunamatic. Saw your recent Epiphone 335 video series, which was awesome, by the way.
Thanks.
I was thinking of picking one up. Do you have any tips or special tools for removing and inserting the wiring? Hollow bodies are the best.
Ugh.
Just kidding.
I would say a swear jar. Not really. I mean, it's just a fight.
Just go in with a level of patience.
Yeah, you gotta know that it's gonna take a couple hours to do, and don't be in a hurry.
And you might have to walk away.
Yeah.
Then you just go back.
That's it, for real.
Oh, come through South Dakota after Denver. That's what Mr. Goat said.
Ah, man. Yeah, this trip
Trying to
is
be all. Yeah, I thought we were going that way actually, because we have to go south to get there. I thought we were going to go a more northern route back, but I guess.
Well, Arizona's past Colorado.
I know, but we
got to go to
Colorado, California,
and then we got to go to California, and then on the way back, I wanted to come back down through.
See, I actually thought you were going to go the other way because I thought you had to go to Oklahoma.
Oh, because we have to go to Oklahoma on the way back. Yeah, I don't know what we're going to do yet. Stay tuned on Patreon and all the places.
I'm flying home from San Diego. Or
you're flying home. Yeah, because we're doing like a month and a half in a van, so it'll be all right. That's what we got it for.
All right, Mark Hott. If I put a Gibson LP custom shop wiring and pickup in an Epiphone LP custom, would it sound like a Gibson custom shop?
I mean, theoretically, you could probably do like a A/B test on YouTube, and it would probably sound halfway decently the same. But I suppose it would probably. I don't know. It'd feel different when you play. Here's the thing: an Epiphone and a Gibson are both gonna feel different when you play them, which is gonna make you play different, which is gonna make you sound different. That's where I'll leave that.
Lunamatic said, good to know I can't do the 335 upgrade with my kid around. And somebody else said tubing, surgical tubing. Yeah. And Daniel said, why don't they add control cavities to hollow bodies? So I think everybody kind of
they do. I think 333 has a control cavity on the back.
Dennis Polson, love this hangout each week. Will there be a Dylan and Leslie channel live chat tonight?
No. I was waiting for you to answer that. No. Probably not.
We'll do one in January. I don't know when. Sometime in
Yeah.
January.
Yep.
We
We'll
want
get
to
it.
do one at least once a month.
Yes.
We haven't done anything cool yet. We've just upheaved our whole life. Maybe that's cool enough. I guess maybe we should talk about that.
Yeah, probably should.
January, Dennis. We'll let you know. Windsurf Maui. I'm trying to assemble quick release loaded pick guards using simple ball and socket plugs for ground wires, but will I lose sound quality on output wire?
No, you won't. Ball and socket, huh? So, I used T connectors from radio control car batteries, and it worked awesome for that. I built a bunch of pickguards for a guy in California, and we just took the output jack and we put a T connector on it from a RC car battery, and it worked amazing. And then the other thing we use is, I don't have any here, but I've posted a bunch of pictures on Instagram and stuff for the last couple of days of these little screw connectors that we use, and they work really good too. And no, you'll be fine. There are many screw connectors and quick release connectors in radios and all kinds of things that are way more sensitive to frequency upset than a dang guitar pickup. You'll be just fine. Like space shuttles and stuff.
Mr. Goat said he would even eat vegetables if we came to see
Oh my
him.
God.
And Jason Albert said, don't forget, you're coming to see me in the Cahokia Mounds this summer.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
He's close enough we could probably make that happen.
Yeah, because that's by St. Louis.
Are there vegan recipes on the other channel?
Yep.
There are some, Doc.
Mm-hmm. There are.
All right. Jim Cunningham. Does insulated silver wire make good pickup wire?
It supposedly it does. Seymour Duncan made the Zephyr pickups with silver wire, but it's really hard to make. It's really expensive. It's really brittle. It breaks really easy. So I've never cared about trying it. That's why they were like $800 a piece.
Caveat, is there any advantage to Alnico 8 magnets in a P90 or P94?
In a P94 maybe. Yeah, we should try that probably. We should probably try that. Yeah, P94 maybe. Not in a P90. P90s are already the best pickup ever. I wouldn't mess with them. But the P94 maybe. To give it a little bit more high end and a little bit more bite to make it sound more like a regular P90. So maybe, yeah, it might be a thing actually. I've thought about it before. I just never kind of got around to it.
All right. Mark. I have a 7-string with active pickups that I want to switch to passive. Is this doable for a first-time soldering project? Any recommendations beyond DiMarzio for 7-string passive pickups?
I do not have a lot of recommendations for 7-string passive stuff, and you should. What's in it now? He just said active, right?
Active to passive. Is it a doable first-time soldering
project?
project?
Yeah. Because there's going to be a lot less stuff in there than when you started. Actually, it's going to be easier. There's going to be less wires and less leftover stuff, for sure.
Caveat said Denver. Does that mean you're stopping by Texas Toast? No, we're not stopping by. We're gonna
be there for a month.
Entire month.
Yep. We're teaching a pickup class there.
Yep. So sign up on Texas Toast website in May.
Yep.
And you get to meet us both.
Yep.
What's red in your face?
I don't know.
Oh, the light.
The light. Phil needs Leslie.
I don't know what that means.
In his live stream to manage all his comments.
No.
No.
All right, let's go back up because I missed some things.
Okay.
Mr. Goat, talk to me about Strat 2 P90s loaded pickguard, please.
Heck yeah. When do you want to do it? Let's do it. I just did one. Actually, I did a 3 P90 loaded pickguard. 3 weeks ago, I did a 2 P90 loaded pickguard. It was amazing. We did a single hum pickguard yesterday, and I got another single hum pickguard to do next week. Yeah, man. 2 P90s and a three-way, really, and a volume and a tone. That's what you need. That's all you need. It would be amazing. 500 K-pops.
Mark Hott said, would you do a meetup at Augusta Nation? I don't even know what that is.
You meant Augusta National, probably.
Maybe, but if you can get on the Augusta National, I'd totally meet you there.
Yeah, for sure. But you'd have to give me tickets.
Yeah,
I don't know what to do about meetups.
Fat Philosopher, looking online at an 80s BC Rich. Are they any good, or have these guitars been played into the ground?
I think you just have to find a good one.
I mean,
I think they're worth getting.
He is really good at finding all kinds of guitars.
Well, and he's in Japan, so they had a completely different market. So you get really kind of cool stuff there that we don't get, and kind of more rare pieces and stuff. So that's cool. That's very cool. Oh, also, I'm getting 2 new guitars, not just one.
Oh, look at you drop that bomb right on them. We'll see how many people pick that up, like at X time in this, and we're not even done. Nub Fub. Which is more sensitive, a trim with 2 tight springs or 3 less tight springs?
I don't mess around with that enough to tell you. All I care is that I can get the thing to float enough to come up like a tone and a half. Because I like it to float both ways. And I don't really mess around with that much. I'm not super picky about trim action, like how I don't care. So it's hard for me to give you any input on that because I just don't mess with it.
Southern Boy, which magnets sound best in P90s? Ceramic versus Alnico?
5s. Alnico 5s.
Daniel C. Better invention, P90 or P80 polymer 80% guns?
P90 pickup for sure.
Charles Wallace says, I'll wait for the Augusta pickup class. LOL.
Because I'd rather have like a Beretta with no plastic in it. Sorry, I got going on that gun brain thing.
Opinions on alumitones?
They are aluminum.
That's what Rusty asked.
They're interesting. They do a thing. I think if you're a jazz or a fusion player, you'd really, really like them. If your thing is like vintagey single coily stuff and vintage style P90 kind of stuff like I am, I'm not so much into them. But like I have a buddy who plays a lot of jazz fusion stuff. Keith Peterson would like eat those up. Like those are really cool pickups for that. But I just don't play that kind of music and don't like that kind of sound. But I can definitely see where they have a place.
And yeah, Ivan shared that you have a video on it, so there is video out there.
We do, like how they're made and what's in them and stuff. Yep, that's right.
Mike Skinner, any insight on identifying trending guitars that increase in value quickly? Not just limited edition stuff, but things like Tom DeLonge Fenders or guitars that are affected by new wood import laws.
By all of them. I don't know. I have never been I should plan ahead to buy this guitar, but that's also why I don't have like $1 million worth of guitars, because I didn't do that when I was a kid. If I could tell you all of the cool guitars that came through our guitar store in the early 80s and late 70s, like my dad would be a millionaire if he still owned them all. And you just don't know.
He had all the cars.
If I had all the cars, that's true. If I had every car that I've ever owned and I kept them all, I would be a millionaire just based on that. I don't care about that as much. I'm not in it for the investment stuff. Now, that being said, I have decided, especially now that I have a place, I've been playing a lot more guitar. You guys don't know this because I don't do it on camera that much. But I've been playing a lot more guitar. And I've decided that we are always going to have these project style guitars around, like these Squires and stuff. But, okay, so I guess here's another clue. I'm going to start buying guitars that I really want.
You just sprinkle all those hints in.
And they're nice. I'm not going to buy the Squire version. I'm going to save up and I'm going to buy the good version of whatever guitar I want. And so I'm going to start doing that. And I think if you smartly do that and don't buy 10 Harley Bentons and go buy one good guitar and just keep it, it will trend in the direction that you want it to trend in, especially the way the economy is right now. You can, if you buy it smart and keep it, I'm sure it will be a good buy.
I don't know if you say it like this, but this is how I read it, so you're welcome. Le Frog 52.
That's pretty awesome.
I got a Fender double tap humbucker. What's your take on it?
I haven't played one yet. Is it good? I wanna.
Dylan isn't a Glock guy, I take it.
No, and it's not because of the polymer part, because I do have a polymer pistol, but it's the shape of it. I don't like how it feels. I've never liked how they felt.
So Doc said, I finally finished the Dylan P90 loaded double cutaway junior today. Final setup and intonation. Sounds so killer. I will try to send you a video of it and the DAF loaded V.
Oh, sweet.
That's cool.
Awesome.
And then Dennis, he asked earlier, and I just skipped over it. We did talk about this already, but he said, man, missed it, but what's in the glasses tonight? So I don't even have a glass. I have that fancy Costco sparkling water. And yep. Dylan's glass is now empty. But Doc, this is what we were talking about when we were talking about you. But this is what Dylan was drinking tonight. That was, you gave us 2 recommendations, Doc. We had one quite a while ago, and that was finally got to the second one.
Yep.
All right. That's all the questions. I'm caught up.
Cool.
That was rapid fire.
Unless we get like a last minute super chat.
Yep.
Paul says, there goes your living room walls.
You should look at some old videos and see what our living room used to look like.
Yeah. We used to have like 15 guitars in like a boat on the floor.
A wall and then
unit.
Some really nice, what are those?
The zither stands. I still have a couple of those.
On the floor.
I should actually hit Tony up and get a couple more of those. Because I got some guitars coming that need those. Yeah. No, and then I have a walk-in closet that's where all the cases are and stuff. And then these guitars up here. But like right now, let's see, that Telly's gonna go away. That's the other thing I want to talk about too, just before we go. I will, like I just said, some of these lower priced guitars, because, okay, I'm gonna just be super transparent. So we don't get a lot of free stuff on the channel, so I actually have to buy everything. I'm using that term loosely because what we use the Patreon money for is for putting a dent in that. It doesn't pay for everything, but it does help. So that's where the Patreon money goes, is for buying stuff, for videos and stuff. For example, that Telly up there. And then what I do is I mod it. We make a bunch of videos about it. And then I'll sell it to one of you. Like we did last week. Was it last week or the week before? I was just like, hey, this Telly is up for sale because I'm done with it. And somebody immediately bought it. And then I'll use that money to buy the next, I'll use that money and some of the Patreon money to buy the next project guitar, if that makes sense. And so we keep kind of doing that. So we always have some reasonably priced project guitars. And they're always going to be somewhere in that like $500 range, because I know that if we were to buy a $2,700 Gibson and say, hey, I'm selling a $2,700 Gibson after I modded it, that wouldn't be realistic for a lot of people. So I'm like, let's just keep it in this, these are the guitars we're going to mod anyway, right? Like the Squires and the Mexican Strats and that kind of stuff. So that's what we're going to do. So once that guitar is gone, then we'll get another one. We'll get another one, and we'll do the same thing. We'll just keep flipping those over. So keep an eye out for those. And I always tell, well, most of the time, 99% of the time, I tell everybody on Patreon first. I kind of sprung this telly on everybody last week, so I didn't really mean to, but I've got another guitar that's going to come available in the next probably 3 weeks or so that I think somebody already spoke for, but I'm not exactly sure. So I'm going to mention it on Patreon before I mention it on here. So that is also another reason to join Patreon, because you'll get like first dibs at that. Oh, and the other reason to join Patreon is because you get 10% off everything we make at Dylan Talks Tone. So if you want a set of pickups, go join Patreon and then buy the pickups. It'll pay
We've
for it.
seen lots of people get it paid for like immediately.
Yeah, it'll pay for itself right away, because 10% off of a set of pickups, a set of humbuckers is like $26. So
Yeah.
you
And
know,
you get a discount if you do a year membership. That's actually what I was thinking of. Somebody bought a year membership because they got you get a discount
oh, you do.
from Patreon
Yep.
for that.
Yep.
So they got their membership at a discount, and then like within hours placed an order on the website that was more,
Then what the
their
whole thing
discount was more than
paid
what
for
they
their
paid
year
for.
of
And I was
Patreon.
like,
Yeah.
that is a cool example.
That's a cool idea. Yeah. Yeah. So if you buy some pickups right after you bought a year membership of Patreon, you can pretty much almost break even depending on what you get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
that
pretty
makes
wild
sense.
to watch that.
I didn't think about it like that. That's cool.
Whoops.
Oh, super chat.
Jonathan Knapp, thank you for the super chat. I posted a response to Daniel C. previous. Love you guys.
I didn't see that.
Who's Daniel C? What are we talking?
We're looking for Jonathan Knapp because he did the. I must have missed it. I don't know what we were talking.
Read something?
I don't know what we were talking about.
Oh. 333s have been my go-to for semis for modding. Exact same assembly as a 335, but using a leftover BB King back.
There you go. And so it does have a control plate like a Les Paul. Yep. Awesome.
No, you're not finished. Don't say bye 500 times.
Uh-oh.
Because you stalled everything. So we're going to answer
a couple more questions.
A few more.
Okay.
Fat Philosopher, your Schecter Sun Valley is no longer on the back wall. Don't tell me you sold that beauty.
It's over here on a zither stand.
Where'd that go? Oh, Eric Gutierrez. Hey, Dylan, what do you recommend for a soldering iron?
I recommend 2 soldering irons. For the budget-minded folks, the Weller 40 watt, the orange one. And then if you really, really want something really good, the Heiko.
Is there a link somewhere?
Yeah, I'll put a link after the video's over because, yeah, I'll put a couple links.
Because also, every time we use our Amazon or Sweetwater link, that helps.
It does. Thank you.
Christopher Valdez, can you recommend a good tremolo pedal?
My favorite is a Strymon Flint.
Renee Aguilera, thanks for dropping your knowledge. I have a 2001 Epiphone ES335 from the Samick factory in Korea. What do you suggest I upgrade? What's your thoughts on Faber Tone Lock Bridge and Al tailpiece for it? AI? I don't know what that said.
So I don't think that the hardware really needs to be upgraded unless you're having saddle issues, like problems with your saddles. I'd just put a set of pickups in it. I'd put DAFs in there, and it would be properly good.
Jim Cunningham, after 63 years, it's nice to have an inspiration to wind some pickups. Thanks to you.
Awesome, man.
Don the Watcher, or Don't He Watcher, I don't know. I read it like 500 different ways. What strings and size do you use on your Telecasters?
I use whatever strings I have. Typically, they're Ernie balls, and I use 10s. I'm not a string snob because in all these videos, you might not realize it, but when we're making a video, I might go through 3 or 4 sets of strings in one video because of how we take stuff apart and how we shoot. So I can't spend a lot of money on strings. So Ernie Ball 10s, change them a lot, the end.
Were you a little Brian Carpenter, were you a little disappointed in the color options for the Silver Sky SE?
Yes, they're ugly.
Dennis totally missed. He said, "How did I miss this to Staniac?" Don't you already have a video about it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to go back and check it out, Dennis. That thing is hilarious. Almost as funny as what was the weird pedal you demoed?
Oh, the Miku? Because we did the Miku and the Sustaniac together.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a hilarious video that should have done better than it did.
I know.
Butch Davidson said, "I can't wait to play or even hear that thing. I've been pacing the floor the whole time."
Good.
And then they're teasing me for saying don't say bye 500 times because that's a Southern thing. Mr. Go, is it nice being close to the fam again? Maybe a question more for Leslie. Yes, it is. Both of our... Oh, am I clicking buttons on act?
Yes.
Sorry about that. Sure. Both of my children are recently on their own because they are grown, but they are also now independent. So being close to be a support for them is really cool.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we have one that has COVID, so we had to make a porch run.
Yeah.
So if I was out of town, I wouldn't have been able to do that.
Yeah. No, it's fun to be around for them. It's fun.
And of course, my parents and my nieces. They're at a super fun age that I'm glad I get to see them.
Yep.
Let me just make sure. Last one. This is the last one. Caveat. Do you have an opinion about brass or steel humbucker bases?
So don't use steel because it's magnetic. I don't like brass, but I have not developed my pickups to work with it. DiMarzio has developed their pickups to work with brass. I have not. I use nickel. So this is nickel. And it's magnetic because there's a magnet in there, but it's not magnetic. So yeah, these are nickel. I do not use steel. It'll screw up with your pickup for sure.
Cool. I didn't think we were going to get through all those questions.
Oh man, there was a lot this week. It was awesome. And there was a lot of people watching too. I don't know how many.
Well, it dropped off. There was like a lot.
Oh, awesome.
At one time.
Well, thanks everybody for hanging out. I appreciate it. And we only had 2 thumbs down Franks all night.
One was there before we got started, so that one probably doesn't even count. The other one is probably a bass player.
Who uses a pick? So is he really? Oh, I'm just kidding.
Oh,
I'm just kidding.
It's a joke, y'all.
It's a joke. I'm totally kidding. I do not care what you use because it's not my guitar. So this is awesome. Thanks for hanging out, and we will see you